I'm Sue-Ching with Cells. Welcome to my channel, Making Happy Things, and today we're going to do a new project, tea towel top. There's an event that I've got on. I don't really like making new clothes specifically for events because I don't have a lot of events and all of my whole wardrobe is just, I don't have occasion wear. My whole wardrobe is like one vibe and I usually just tend to dress it up or dress it down, and really comes down to like putting an effort in with like hair and makeup and what shoes I wear and what accessories and stuff. So while I don't really want to make new clothes for special events, it is a good chance for me, if I do have something particularly special coming up, to kind of tick off something from my list that I've wanted to do for a long time anyway. So I've been dreaming about making really high volume, like a really voluminous tea towel top to go with a fancy skirt. Thinking about all the different elements. I really voluminous sleeve, but I don't want it to be gathered. Wanted a peplum kind of layer that is gathered, but maybe like a two layer, like a fold over bubble. And then I remembered a top that I made pretty much in the exact shape that I'm thinking of. I just need to add the ruffle peplum. I got this pattern off Etsy. It's the Chica Frick Pafalina dress, and I have the pattern already. I've made it once, so I know the gist of it. I think I'm going to just go with that for time saving rather than having to draft something up. The hardest part is going to be working out the best combination of tea towels, and I've got napkins as well, and just putting them into a really cool pattern mix. Get them out, lay them out. I'm going to get my pattern pieces out first so I know like how big I need to, and I'll assemble some panels and then I'll cut my pattern out from it and I'll work through it that way. So yeah, let's go. The whole dress is one piece. Whoa, whoa. Mind that I'm gonna add the peplum. So probably start to about there. So first things first, I need to take off the hems. So I'm gonna cut off all the hems, which is easier for stitching, cuts down bulk. I just realised the pants I'm wearing, they're made out of tea towels. If you don't know me, or you do know me, you'll know that I love sewing with tea towels and linen and upcycling things that you just have around the house and just making something creative out of it. You can literally end up with the coolest stuff with original prints that you wouldn't necessarily find anywhere else, and the quality is beautiful linens as well. So these are all, I'm pretty sure they are all 100%, yep, I'm cutting off the tags, 100% linen. Yes! Just love sewing with them, and the more you wash and wear them, the softer they become, the more beautiful they become. They really become a part of your body. Okay, so I've got a bunch of tea towels and napkins that I've taken the hems off. I don't know if I've got enough, but I'm just going to start with this amount. This feels like a good amount, and I'm going to start just cutting them up into, I don't know, shapes, like squares and rectangles. I'm just going to piece them together in a way that is patched together, but I don't have a plan, so I'm going to do that. And like everything I do, just cross my fingers and hope for the best. So I'm probably just going to start with like cutting them in half. I can't use whole tea towels, so it doesn't fit perfectly into the pattern. So if I patch it together, then I might have a better outcome of less wastage, is what I'm thinking. So I don't actually really need to think too much about the placement, because I think that they all, whoops, look nice together. Ooh, that one just a bit rough. Okay, I'm gonna go over to the machine, thread it up. I'm just gonna start stitching these together. Okay, so I've done all my patchwork. I'm really happy with that, loving the colours, loving the prints, and I've assembled all the patchwork to fit on the pattern roughly, so I had to do a funny little wedge in there, but I think it's worked out good. I'm going to now lay the pattern up on the patchwork and cut it out. But before I do, I think I will shorten the sleeve just a tad, because I remember last time I made it, it was quite long. So I'm just going to like pinch up a little bit and pin it in place and kind of do a rough shortening of that. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, this is exciting. I've cut out both my pieces, and now I don't know why I'm making that face, because I'm a little bit worried that my front and backs are too short. So I'm going to stitch them together. If the front and back pieces are too short, I can always add more, but keeping in mind that there's going to be that peplum, so even if it's super short and the peplum is a little bit longer, we can deal with it that way. It should be fairly straightforward. I hate saying that because then it always goes wrong. I hate saying that anything's easy or straightforward, because then you kind of discover like, oh, actually it's not. This is the biggest pattern piece, by the way. I'm going to pack that away. I still need to cut out binding pieces for the neckline and the cuffs. I put the main body parts together now and at least get the shape of it together. Okay, so I have sewn to front and center back together, and also along under the arms and down the little bit of the side of the body, and it's looking like this. This is inside out, because I'm going to go over to the overlocker now and then finish these seams. Also, you will notice that I did finish all the patchwork seams as well as I went on the overlocker. It's all neatly finished. I feel good about that. Next step is to just finish the neckline with binding. I've just cut that out. The other thing I need to do is gather and finish the sleeves, and that'll be the most of that top done, and then I'll just add my big balloony peplum onto the bottom. And if I don't have time to do the balloon peplum, even just a ruffle will do, but I really want to see the vision through and do like a bit more of a balloony peplum. Let's just see how we go. I'm set on getting this top part done today, and then we'll figure out the peplum stuff another day. Here I'm folding over the neck binding to the outside, and I'm going to stitch it. So I'm trying to think of what this type of binding is called, but basically it's visible. Yes, okay, I'll start in the back. And because I haven't ironed it, I'm just going to finger press as I go. So the neckband is cut on the bias, which allows it to curve around. So it's cut on the 45-degree angle. So that's sewn. That's what it looks like inside out. Loving where this is going. This looks awesome. Honestly, the steam, the ironing is going to make all the difference. Back in the studio. It's a beautiful day. I'm always so happy when I'm here. I'm back to finish my high volume tea towel top, voluminous tea towel top that I'm making for an event that is on tomorrow night. And I did pretty well getting most of it put together the other day. Probably spent like 2 hours on it. And I'm back. I've got to gather the sleeves up, add a cuff, and put on the ruffle hem. This is a really wide sleeve to gather, so I'm going to get started on that. I've done my gathering stitches, and this is the size of the cuff or the binding that it's got to go into, so you can see how small that is. and how big that is. So I've got to gather that into that. I need tunes or like TV or something because I just can't work without it. So I'm going to put headphones on. Okay, so they're both gathered as tightly as I could get them, and now I'm going to pin the cuff binding on and then stitch it on, and that'll be the sleeves and the bulk of the top finish, and then it's just the ruffle. Use sewing clips to pin really gathered stuff because it's just much easier to clip rather than pin. I find that's my personal preference. Stitches, I'll just pull those out at the end. That looks really good. Hey, that's looking good. Yeah. These are all offcuts. The tea towel. I'm going to measure the circumference of the bottom, and I'm going to make my ruffle approximately 1.5 times, so it's got enough to gather more or less, but probably on the side of more than less because you want more of a gather. And my plan is to gather both edges, like do a rather than folding it like that, and then just I want to gather it and then like offset it a little bit. I think that will give it like a little bit more body. I'm gonna try it. Bit experimental, it's good to try new things. So I'm gonna get my napkins and start on that. So I've calculated the circumference times that by 1.5, and I've worked out I need about 5 napkins to create the ruffle. I'm gonna cut the hems off them as per usual. And then I'll stitch them together and just double check that I've got enough before I make the ruffle. This is all the hems so far, just from making this. And I do keep these, I don't know what, because you just never know what you might use them for. I've stitched together a big, long thing of napkins. I just want to make sure that it's going to fit. So I can see here if I line it up and just to go around, there's about that much excess. So that's how much can get gathered in. So it's not a big gather. I'm wondering if I should do a little bit more to make it more bouncy. Should add a bit more. Maybe I can add one of these in. Yeah, that's perfect. Rather than a whole one, it's like a half a one. So I sewed gathering stitches on like both sides, top and bottom of this piece. Stay with me because I'm going to try and see if this works. I mean, yeah. Experimental. You can't see the gathering stitches because I sewed them in white. Duh. I'm going to go ahead and gather these up to fit the bottom of my top, both edges, and then I'm going to fold it in half. Well, I'll just show you. So both sides of my ruffle layout have been gathered. Time is just going so fast. Like, things always take much longer than you think they're going to take. That's one thing I've learned about sewing. So I've got 2 gathered ends. Okay, and this is for the thing that I'm trying out, and I've roughly measured it to the bottom, the gathers to the bottom of my top, so I know that that's roughly the right size. So now I'm going to fold my ruffle layer in half. this way. And to start, I'll line up the seams so I know I'm kind of doing it in the right spot, so it looks like that. Oh, it's hectic out there. Doggy's barking. So that's what it would look like if I was to just do it. But the reason why I've like gathered it one piece, but I've gathered it separately because what I want to do, which I thought I was trying to explain it, but I think it'll be easier if I just show it to you, is I want to actually take the two layers and then just offset them a little bit. So say this is where it lines up. I want to like just move one layer and then just move it a little bit down so it's like a little bit twisted, and I think that might actually give it a little bit more of a volume. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go through and twist it, and then I'm going to baste stitch it in place, and then I'll stitch it to the bottom of my top. I'm sensing this is going to be really difficult to iron. This looks like a little tutu. What do you think? Does that look funny? I'm really second guessing myself now, having really serious doubts about my life. Also, what is going on here? I'm 100% doubting myself every step of the way with this ruffle. I'm sort of thinking like it's too short now. It's got like too much of a tutu feel, but I'm going to persevere, attach it to the top. I don't have time to redo it if I'm going to wear it tomorrow. So I'm going to pin it to the top now and stitch it on, and then we'll see how it looks. That's sewn on, and now I really feel like this is the moment of truth. Before I go ahead and lock it in by finishing the edge on the overlocker, I'm going to give it one last try on, because this is the last stage to kind of change anything, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like. I'm definitely thinking that this is too short, is my first impression. I'm going to put it on and have a look. Okay, it's on, and actually, you know what? I think it's fine. I think it looks good. I think that looks good. It's very bouncy. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay, I'm feeling good about it now, because on the bottom I'm going to wear a skirt that's pretty much like a tube. So it's good to have like this volume on the top for interest. A bit of jewellery and some nice shoes. I think I'm there. I think I'm there with it. I'm excited. I'm going to put the iron on so I can give it a good steam. Finish the inside seam allowance off on the overlocker, and